Afternoon, everybody. My name is Andrew. Surefire ShotShow 2016. We're going to go over some of the new products here. First off, we have the Sidekick Keychain light. It's a lithium-ion rechargeable. Has a micro USB. 10mm faceted reflector with that max vision beam pattern. You're going to be seeing a lot of this reflector. We've been very happy with the results of the beam pattern that this creates. It's very wide, very even, real good for a floodlight for admin tasks, especially what this light is meant for. As far as output's concerned, you have 3 levels: 5 lumens, 60 lumens, and 300 lumens. So it's a whole lot of light for a very little package. This is currently an Amazon exclusive. However, it will be available to our entire dealer network and from us directly very soon. Retail price on this guy is $80, and this is currently shipping. Next up, we have the V1-B. Vampire series, for those of you that aren't familiar, is the white light and infrared combination. You pull and twist to switch between the outputs. So you see that white dot indicates that we're on the white light. You can pull and twist to rotate to off, pull and twist to rotate to IR. The upgrade for this year is for the 3 volt or the 1 battery version, it's up to 250 lumens. So it's a big bump. The previous one I think was around 120 or 150 lumens in white light. So a big bump in output there. For the 6 volt version, which is like the Scout light, it's been up to 350 lumens for white light output. The IR output for all of those units has remained the same. We felt that was plenty of IR light, but the white light is upgraded obviously on both of those. So the denotion or the nomenclature for that is -B. So this is the V1-B. For the Scout lights, it'll be the M600V-B and the M300V-B. So moving on, we have the Freedom Alliance Fury. So this is a commemorative light that we did with the Freedom Alliance. Proceeds from this light go towards the Freedom Alliance, so obviously it's a real good cause, and it has that really awesome patriotic color scheme. So it's been really well received so far here at the show. Next up, we have the M600IB for IntelliBeam. We debuted the P3X IB last year. It's that IntelliBeam technology with a sensor in the bezel that's constantly adjusting. So we've taken that, we've kind of expanded its application to some more flashlights this year, one of these being the IntelliBeam Scout light. The advantage here is, the training world seems to be kind of divided. Some people like all the lumens, so to say, and they like as much light as possible. People are putting P3Xs that are 1,000 lumens on long guns. So there's the flip side of that, where some people think that's too much light for CQB. If you hit a mirror, white walls or whatever, you might kind of blind yourself a little bit. This is kind of a good middle ground in that you have a 200 lumen baseline. If you go into a small room, it'll dial down to your 200 lumens. You're not really hurting your eyes as much as you would be with that max output of 600 lumens. At the same time, if you get into a long shoot situation, whether it's like outdoors or a long hallway, it'll dial up to that 600 lumens. The output changes pretty much instantaneously. So a couple of people have asked, how fast is it? You can watch, it's pretty much instantaneous. So no worries as far as it being delayed. Very exciting new product for us. With that IntelliBeam technology, we've incorporated it into a couple of the lights. We can move this way right now. All right, moving into the next batch here. We have the P3X Fury, the R1, and the P2X with IntelliBeam technology. So again, I mentioned that we're incorporating that IntelliBeam technology into more products. So yeah, we have the P3X or the P2X, which is a 6 volt, 2 battery system, 600 lumen high and a 5 lumen low. So you see it instantaneously going back to that low output. And now it ramps, it's linear, it's not just 2 outputs. You'll see it gets brighter and brighter and then lower. Same thing with the P3X now, P3X IB I should say, for IntelliBeam. This one has a 1,000 lumen high and a 5 lumen low. So, and then with the R1, this has been a really popular light. It's been around for a while, but it's been really popular with the law enforcement community. Of course, it's a lithium-ion rechargeable. It's got a lot of features as far as the different activation methods with the bezel switch and the rear tail cap push button, with also the charging port. And we just went ahead and added the IntelliBeam technology because it's really fitting for law enforcement. If you're writing a ticket but you still need to see far, all of a sudden it'll ramp up for you. So very excited to launch that. Moving on forward, we have the new Fury body style, so we went back to the knurling. Previously the body was a notched smooth body, but not as good for grip in wet weather. That's the feedback that we got, so we've kind of listened to our customer base and stepped back to the knurled bodies. Other than that, functionality and output, pretty much the same, 600 lumens on high, but the knurling is really what's different, and that's been really well received. It's kind of a throwback to the old style of our flashlight, so, and it also has a really good functionality to it. Moving forward, We have our Titans. These were launched last year, so nothing changed, but they're still an exciting new product that we want to promote. So the Titan Plus, which is the brass body, nickel plate, has a 300 lumen high output and 15 lumens low. The aluminum version is the Titan A, 125 lumens on high and the 15 lumens on low. So we're able to push that brass output a little bit higher. It's lower resistance with the brass body, and you can push the LED a little bit harder. So moving over to the headlamp, this is the new Minimus configuration. With this new Minimus, you have a push button on the side to activate it. It's also using that 10mm faceted reflector that we had with the Sidekick and a couple of our other products. The difference is, with this year, the activation method, obviously push button, and then you rotate to 12 different settings. And you can program, by holding the button down on the setting that you want, for it to always turn on that setting. So if you want it to always turn on in the high setting or the low setting, you can have it do that. So, excited to launch this. Step over to the 2211s, or our wrist lights. So we have a couple new options, a couple changes of some older configurations. First off, 2211 Luminox. Of course, this is our Luminox watch version. One of the new changes is the bottom's gone to polymer, a little bit more comfortable for your wrist contact, also a little bit better for heat transfer, or preventing heat transfer if you're running that light for a long period of time. We're able to pull some cost out of it with that change, also with the 10mm faceted reflector, so it's down to $649 for the MSRP, which really isn't too bad if you consider the price of a Luminox watch on top of a Surefire flashlight. So this has been really well received so far. Next to that, we have the Polymer 2211. So this is brand new for this year. Very low profile, lithium ion, rechargeable battery. Has a micro USB port on the back and a fuel gauge on top. Big push button for activation and a 300 lumen high output. Oh yeah, and that's retailing for $229. Next up, 2211X. This was here last year, 300 lumens on high. It has a 123 disposable battery, so if your capabilities or what you want is to be able to change batteries in the field, that's probably the wrist light for you. And last but not least, what's been probably most people are excited about the most here at SHOT is our new Fire Pack. So it's a two-part system, Surefire phone case, and then the Fire Pack. So what this is a 1500 lumen flashlight. It's also a lithium-ion rechargeable battery. A lot of people carry around lithium-ion rechargeable batteries with them just to charge their phone. So if you kind of have that backpacker's mentality, I'd rather have something that does two things than just a piece of kit that does one. So this is that. You have the capability to slide it onto your phone via that dovetail, and you can operate the light with the Bluetooth app. It also has a slider on the side. It's 5 different settings. 1500 lumens on high. Again, 10mm faceted reflectors. You'll notice they're both kind of off canter, they're offset. The reason for that is so that when it's attached to the cell phone, if you're doing some filming or some pictures, it'll fill up the entire screen and you won't have a black circle on the end. It's not one hot spot, it's a beautiful wide beam pattern. So we're really excited about this. The retail price for the Fire Pack is going to be $249. We'll jump into the app real quick and show you. If I click on the flashlight button, this is adjusting the output, so you can see the steps. So it depends on what I want to set my flash at. I'll leave it at the 4th setting. Click on the light bulb. That's what my flash is now set at. So now when I jump into the camera, if I want to take my picture, it'll be that level of flash. And so that's basically the operation. You also have the ability to control multiple Fire Packs, so if you want to set up some complex lighting for some videography or for some photos, you can do that kind of like you would with a strobe system for still photography. You can set up multiple units and activate all of them with that. So again, $249 for the MSRP for the Fire Pack and $29 for the phone case. So have any questions, please feel free to visit us at surefire.com. Thanks for stopping by.